Hello everyone, my name is Sonali Saxena. Today I am going to give my seminar presentation on the topic Blueprint the Future Generation. This is the list of contents that we would be discussing in this presentation. Human brain is the most valuable creation of God. The man is called intelligent because of the brain. The brain translates information delivered by the impulses, which then enables a person to react. But we lose the knowledge of a brain when the body is destroyed after the death of a person. The knowledge might have been used for the development of the human society. What would happen if we create a brain and upload the contents of a natural brain into it? Today, scientists are in research to create an artificial brain that can think, respond, take decisions, and keep anything in memory. The main aim is to upload human brain into the machine so that a man can think, take decisions without any effort. After the death of a body, the virtual brain will act as the man. Even after the death of a person, we will not lose the knowledge, intelligence, personalities, feelings, and memory of that man that can be used for the development of the human society. So, what is a blue brain? Blue brain is the name of the world's first virtual computer. That means that a machine can function as a brain. No one has ever understood the complexity of the human brain. It is complex than any circuitry in the world. So the question may arise, is it really possible to create a human brain? The answer is yes. When humans did not have a device called computer, it was a big question for all. Technology is growing faster than anything. IBM is now in research to create a virtual brain called the Blue Brain. IBM, in partnership with scientists at Switzerland's EPFL Brain and Mind Institute, will begin simulating the brain's biological system and output the data as a working three-dimensional model that will recreate the high-speed electrochemical interaction that can take place in the brain's interior. This includes cognitive functions such as language, learning, perception, and memory, in addition to brain malfunction such as psychiatric diseases like depression and autism. Here is an image of the Blue Gene supercomputer created by IBM. Before digging deep into the working of Blue Brain, let us know about a virtual brain. Virtual brain is an artificial brain, which is not an actual brain, but it can act as the brain. It can think like a brain, take decisions based on the experience, and respond as a natural brain. It is possible by using a supercomputer with a huge amount of storage capacity, processing power, and an interface between the human brain and this artificial one. To this interface, the data stored in the natural brain can be uploaded into the computer so that the brain and the knowledge, intelligence of anyone can be kept and used forever, even after the death of a person. Why do we need a virtual brain? Today we are developed because of intelligence. Intelligence is the inborn quality that cannot be created. Some people have this quality. Human society is always in need of such intelligence and such an intelligent brain to have with. But with the intelligence is lost along with the body after the death. The virtual brain is a solution to it. The brain and intelligence will be alive even after the death. We often face difficulties in remembering things such as people's names, their birthdays, and the spelling of words, grammar, important dates, etc. In the busy life, everyone wants to be relaxed. Can't we use any machine to assist for all these? Virtual brain may be a solution to it. What if we upload ourselves into a computer and we were simply aware of a computer? Or maybe, what if we lived in a computer as a program? In order to understand the working of an artificial brain, we should be well aware of what happens inside a human brain. The brain essentially serves as the body's information processing center. It receives signals from the sensory neurons in the central and peripheral nervous system, and in response, it generates and sends new signals and instructs the corresponding parts of the body to move or react in some way. It also integrates signals received from the body with the signals from adjacent areas of the brain, giving it rise to perception and consciousness. So, the sensory input, when our eyes see something or our hands touch a warm surface, the sensory cells, also known as neurons, send a message straight to our brain. Integration is best known as interpretation of things. Motor output, once our brain has interpreted all these we have learned, either by touching, tasting, or using any other sense, then our brain sends a message through our neurons to the effector cells, muscles, or gland cells. Now, what is the difference between a natural brain and a simulated brain? On the basis of parameters such as input, interpretation, output, memory, and processing, we can differentiate between the two. So, in the natural brain, the nervous system in our body and the neurons are responsible for the message passing, whereas in a simulated brain, the artificial nervous system can be created. For interpretation, the electrical impulses received by the human brain from the neurons are interpreted in the brain. However, in a simulated brain, the interpretation of electrical impulses received by artificial neuron can be done by a set of registers. In a natural brain, the brain sends the electrical impulses representing the responses, whereas in a simulated brain, the output signals can be given to the artificial neurons in the body. Coming on to the next difference, there are certain neurons in our brain which represent certain states permanently, whereas in a simulated brain, it is not impossible to store the data permanently by using the secondary memory. Processing. When we take decisions or think about something or make computation, logical and arithmetic calculations are done in our neural circuitry. In a similar way, the decision making can be done by the computer by using some stored states and the received input by performing some arithmetic and logical calculations. Coming on to the working of a blue brain, here is a flowchart showing the stepwise working. The Blue Brain project is the first comprehensive attempt to reverse engineer the mammalian brain in order to understand brain function and dysfunction through detailed simulation. The uploading is possible by using small robots known as nanobots. These robots are small enough to travel through our circulatory system. Traveling into the spine and brain, they will be able to monitor the activity and structure of our central nervous system. They will be able to provide an interface with computer that is as close as our mind. Nanobots could also carefully scan the structure of our brain, providing a complete readout. This information, when entered in a computer, could then continue to function as us. Thus, the data stored in the entire brain will be uploaded into the brain. That is, the blue brain. Let us understand this with the help of an example. A very good example of utilization of blue brain is the short-term memory. In some movies, we might have noticed that a person might be having short-term memories. Another situation is when a person gets older. Then he starts forgetting or takes a bit more time to recognize a person. For the above reasons, we need a blue brain. It is a simple chip that can be installed into the brain, for which the short term memory and volatile memory at old age can be avoided. In order to achieve this functionality of blue brain, the hardware and software requirements are as follows: a supercomputer, memory with very large storing capacity, processor with a very high processing power, a very wide network, a program to convert the electrical impulses from the brain to input signal, very powerful nanobots, a blue brain with about 8,000 processors can map one or two simulated brain neurons to each processor, making the computer a replica of 10,000 neurons. Behind every project, there is a strong motivation and goal. The objectives of this project are: the people will search for insights into how the human think and remember. The brain circuitry is in a complex state of flux. The brain keeps rewiring itself every moment for its existence. If the scientist can crack open the secret of how and why the brain does it, the knowledge can lead to a new breed of supercomputers. The blue brain and the human consciousness. This project will search into insights into how the human brain thinks and remember. Scientists think that the blue brain could also be used to cure the Parkinson disease. Parkinson disease is a progressive nervous system disorder that affects movements. Symptoms start gradually, sometimes starting with a barely noticeable tremor in just one hand. Tremors are common, but the disorder also commonly causes stiffness or slowing of movement. Thus, the power of a blue brain is tremendous. The human brain has 100 billion nerve cells that enable us to adapt quickly to an immense array of stimuli. Blue Brain is a technology that uses Blue Gene, a supercomputer capable of processing 228 teraflops. The main aim of Blue Brain is to build a software replica or template which could reveal many existent aspects of blue circuits, memory capacity, and how memory is lost. The first known simulation of Blue Brain was created at the Technical University in Switzerland. The machine is beautiful as it wakes up. It means it works in a fine way when started. Nerve cells flicker on the screen along with electrical charges. This piece of hardware consists of about 10,000 computer chips that act like real nerve cells. This is how the blue brain stimulation in Switzerland looks like. What are the benefits of blue brain? It acts as a supercomputer. It helps in improving processing speed and memory that could make entire human simulated. Things could be remembered without any effort. We can use the intelligence of a person after the death. It can be helpful in making decisions entirely on its own. It allows the deaf to hear via direct nerve stimulation. The blue brain is known to have both advantages and disadvantages. Some of its advantages are: blue brain is an approach to store and utilize human intelligence. It is important to move towards self decision making. Business analysis, attending conferences, reporting, etc. are very significant function that an intelligent machine can do. It can be used as an interface between a human and animal mind. It is a good remedy towards human disability like a deaf can get the information via direct nerve simulation. The disadvantages of blue brain are that we can become very much dependent upon the computer system. Another fear is found with respect to human cloning. This is, however, the real threat. That fear may culminate in a large resistance. Clever evidence of this type of fear is found today with respect to human cloning. However, in the conclusion, we would be able to transfer ourselves into computers at some point. Most arguments against this outcome are seemingly easy to circumvent. They are either simple minded or simply require further time for technology to increase. The only serious threat raised are also overcome as we note the combination of biological and digital technology. While the road ahead is long, already researchers have been gaining great insights from their model. Using the Blue Gene supercomputer, up to 100 cortical columns, 1 million neurons, and 1 billion synapses can be simulated as one. This is roughly equivalent to the brain power of a honeybee. Humans, by contrast, have about 2 million columns in their cortices. Despite the sheer complexity of such an endeavor, it is predicted that the project will be capable of this by the year 2023. Hence, we can say that some improvement in today's technology, the blue brain can be implemented in future, and transferring ourselves into a computer would be possible. The intelligence of human brain will be stored even after the death for the betterment of society. Eventual aim of applying terrific computer power to simulation of an entire brain can be achieved. Very soon this technology would be highly accepted all over the world. Thank you.